Everything you touched this morning, your clothes, your food, even the air, might be putting plastic inside you. Scientists have found them in human blood, the liver, the kidneys, and even the brain. And three of the ways they are getting in, you would never guess them. Welcome to Foodiversity, where we uncover the truth in every bite. Today, we are talking about three ways in which plastic gets into the body and how to prevent it. Microplastics are plastic fragments smaller than 5 millimeters. And then there are nanoplastics, which are small enough to get inside your individual cells. The average adult is estimated to consume the equivalent weight of a full credit card in plastic every single week. But it is not just what you eat that's the problem. Here are three things you probably haven't thought about them. Every time you wash synthetic clothing like polyester, nylon, fleece, it sheds up to 700,000 plastic fibers per wash cycle. A lot of these fibers end up in waterways, but many of them become airborne, released from dryers and settling as indoor dust. Studies show indoor air contains a consistent concentration of microplastic particles, and we spend around 90% of our lives indoors. Researchers found microplastic particles deep in the tonsil tissue of healthy children, not from eating plastic, but from breathing it. Heat dramatically accelerates the release of microplastics from plastic into your food. Think about the moments in your day where plastic meets heat. Hot coffee in a plastic-lined cup, leftovers microwaved in takeout containers, hot water in a plastic kettle, even cutting hot food on a plastic cutting board. One study found a single liter of bottled water, just two standard bottles, contained an average of 240,000 plastic particles. Heat it up and that number climbs. Harvard researchers found that nanoplastics can enter cells in two ways, and some reach the cell nucleus itself. That's inside the control center of your cells. Don't get intimidated by all this. Scientists have found ways to remove microplastics from water. If you want to know, check out my video on the same. This one is the most unavoidable. When ocean waves break, they create a fine aerosol spray, and trapped inside that spray are microplastic particles. If you live near a coast, you are inhaling them constantly. But it's not just coastal areas. Scientists have found microplastics in rainwater collected on remote mountaintops and in Arctic regions, carried by wind from thousands of miles away. Estimates suggest people inhale around 68,000 microplastic particles every single day. The thinnest ones pass from the lungs directly into the bloodstream, and from there they reach virtually every organ, including the brain. Researchers found brain tissue samples contained up to 30 times more microplastics than the liver or kidneys. That's not a typo, 30 times more. Reducing your daily contact with plastics makes a real difference over time. Here is how actually you do it. Stop microwaving in plastic. It doesn't matter if the container says microwave safe. That label just means it won't melt. It says nothing about microplastic release. Move your food to a ceramic bowl or a glass dish before it goes in the microwave. It just takes 5 seconds. Same goes for plastic cutting boards, especially when you're cutting anything hot, acidic, or fatty like tomatoes, citrus, and meat. Switch to wood or bamboo. Studies estimate people who regularly use plastic cutting boards ingest millions of microplastic particles per year just from that one habit. For drinks, swap plastic bottles and cups for glass, ceramic, or stainless steel, especially for anything hot. Your morning coffee in a plastic-lined takeaway cup is one of the highest microplastic exposure moments of your day. And if you're drinking tap water, a good quality filter, specifically one with reverse osmosis or activated carbon, can remove the vast majority of microplastic particles before they reach your glass. Buy a Guppy Friend bag or a Cora ball. These are products specifically designed to catch synthetic fibers inside your washing machine before they get into the water supply and eventually back into the air. They work, they're cheap, and they're one of the highest impact things you can do if you own a lot of synthetic clothing. When you're buying new clothes, lean towards natural fibers like cotton, linen, wool, or hemp where you can. You don't need to overhaul your wardrobe overnight. Just be more intentional next time you're shopping. Ventilate your home. Open windows when weather allows. It genuinely reduces the concentration of airborne microplastic particles indoors. If you use an air purifier, look for one with HEPA filter which can capture particles down to 0.3 microns. Vacuum regularly, and if you can, use a vacuum with a HEPA filter rather than one that just blows fine particles back into the air. None of these changes require you to go off-grid or obsess over every meal. The point is reducing your load, your cumulative daily exposure, so your body isn't constantly dealing with an overwhelming amount of microplastics. The science is still developing, but what we know is clear. Microplastics are inside us and they are accumulating. Small, consistent swabs compound over time, and frankly, as more people make them, it puts pressure on manufacturers and policymakers to do their part too. Subscribe to Foodiversity because the smallest thing in your daily routine can have the biggest impact on your body. Stay informed, make simple swaps where you can.